Gamecocks running back Mario Anderson is officially entering the transfer portal. This being reported by Pete Nakos of On3 Sports. The Post says this: South Carolina's Mario Anderson plans to enter the transfer portal. A source close to the grad transfer tells On3 Sports. A former D2 All-American, he was the Gamecocks' leading rusher with 707 yards and 3 touchdowns, average 4.9 yards per carry. The Big Spur has also come out and reported this, that it is actually happening. They are expecting Mario Anderson to enter the transfer portal. So, what does it mean? I mean, the Big Spur tweeting, Gamecocks running back set to hit the NCAA transfer portal. I mean, guys, the hits keep coming. I mean, the hits keep coming. You know, we talked about it yesterday about potential staff changes. Did there need to be changes? You know, what changes should there be? How is Montario Hardesty still employed in Columbia? I mean, that's the question. How is Montario Hardesty still employed? And listen, I know that loyalty's not a thing in college sports anymore, and certainly if you're expecting loyalty, you should not do so. But man, wow. And apparently, from what I heard over the break, was texted that Mario Anderson was presented with an NIL deal. Again, this is just what I've heard, guys. This is per sources. This is rumors, if you will. But from what I heard, Mario Anderson was presented an NIL deal that he did not like. He did not like the portal deal presented, and I guess his camp decided that, his camp decided that it wasn't enough and that he'd rather go in the portal, look elsewhere, and weigh his options. And I mean, guys, that's what you get when you've got, when you've got free agency with no guardrails. Why wouldn't a kid test his value? Why wouldn't a kid test the market? Also, guys, I would like to highlight O'Donnell Fortune has signed a deal with the Garnet Trust, so he will be back. It was rumored he was going to go to Florida, actually. So O'Donnell Fortune back, but the loss of Mario Anderson, unfortunately, I think outweighs the gain that O'Donnell Fortune is at defensive back. And, we did see this morning. I didn't really know what it meant at the time, but we did see that Mario Anderson had signed a deal with Peterson Sports Management. Welcome to the family at Mario Anderson Jr. It's up from here. Let's shock the world. And guys, admittedly, as I sit here and I soak this in and think about this, I'm going to let you all in on a bit of a secret now that Mario Anderson has entered the portal and probably not coming back to South Carolina. I'm going to let you guys in on a bit of a secret. This doesn't surprise me. This doesn't surprise me in the sense that Mario Anderson is pursuing the bag, assuming that's what he's doing, right? Because why else do you it's like Marshawn Lloyd all over again. Why else would you transfer when you are the starting running back? Like, you're the guy, right? Unless South Carolina brings it into the back. But like, either way, Mario Anderson, had he returned, would have been a very large part of what South Carolina was going to do next year, right? Offensively. I mean, you'd have to think so. Am I surprised to see Mario Anderson chasing the bag? No, I am not. No, I am not. Personally, I am not. I'm going to tell you why. Because around this time last year, right, it was when Mario Anderson committed to South Carolina. Either way, it was around this time last year, maybe a couple weeks further into December, right closer to South Carolina's bowl game. I got contacted by a guy, forget his name, but I got contacted by a guy that was an agent, basically, for multiple players. I don't think he was the agent for Jaheim Bell. I've shared on the airwaves before to you guys about Jaheim Bell. It was either he or in his camp. I think it was Jaheim Bell directly told me that we tried to get a convo with Jaheim Bell. We tried to get an interview with Jaheim Bell. And Jaheim Bell told me for 15 minutes of his time to chat on the airwaves, it cost $500. I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'll stand on business. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to stand on business on that one. Politely turned him down for obvious reasons. Anyways, fast forward. I don't think it was the same guy, but I had a guy hit me up. Said, hey, man, I got a couple guys here. They're down to do some work with the Spurs Up Show. I said, cool. That'd be fun. Why not? Started listing off players on the roster that are still on the roster right now. I believe most of them. $500, $400. He mentions Mario Anderson, who at that time had not played a down for South Carolina, right? Hadn't played a down. Was a stud at Newberry, but hadn't played a down. He said, yeah, I can get Mario Anderson on your show. It'll be $300. $300. And listen, I respect it. Get your bag. But that's why today, Mario Anderson into the portal to chase the bag, it doesn't surprise me. Because that man was trying to chase the bag and get the bag from the second pin hit paper that he was coming to Columbia. So, hey, good on him. Good on him. Good on him. I wish him best of luck. I mean, I think you're a fan in college football. I don't care what team you're a fan of. But you're a fan of college football. You just have to completely detach yourself, guys, from, nothing can surprise you. Nothing can surprise you. I mean, what's crazy is that this guy was in D2. I mean, all due respect, are there a ton of schools beating down his door for his services? I mean, maybe I'm just clueless. I mean, Mario Anderson was solid for Carolina. Don't get me wrong, but I don't care. Like, the system's the system. The NCAA exploited the athletes for forever, but it does not surprise me when Mario Anderson, again, he was trying to get the bag from the moment his name got affiliated with Carolina, wanted me to give him $300 for an interview. I wouldn't do it then, and I sure as hell wouldn't do it now. To hear some pre-canned answers. Anyways, that's sort of beside the point, but it just goes back to, guys, again. Now, what does it mean for Carolina? They need a running back. They need a running back no matter what. And there's guys out there. There's certainly guys out there. Rocket Sanders from Arkansas. I think that's one you got to target. I mean, does South Carolina have the NIL backing that they could put together a deal that he would be interested? I don't necessarily know 100%, but you got to go find somebody. I mean, South Carolina, I know you like Dontavius Braswell. I know you like Matthew Fuller that's going to come in. But, yeah, you need a proven power. I mean, guys, South Carolina's in the same spot they were last year. Like, your top back is left, and what do you have left to work with? I mean, I think the running back room is even more dire than it was at this time, or than it was last offseason when Marshawn Lloyd left, and you know what I mean? Like, so, nothing should surprise us when it comes to the portal and NIL and things can happen. And I just, man, it's I don't know what it says, man. I don't know what it says when, and I think it's, I don't think it's the right move to question the culture and say, man, the culture sucks. Because I mean, guys, every team is dealing with this. Every program is dealing with this. But, man, I mean, a D2 guy, what's crazy to me, again, there's no loyalty. It's about the bag. But like, bro, you were literally at Division II Newberry. Division II Newberry. South Carolina gave you a chance to play SEC football. And now you're just going to up and dip for the bag. God. I mean, that's brutal. That's brutal. And I love what Travis Allen says here. Collectives are now the heads of recruiting. That's it. Guys, Shane Beamer, sure, he's going to do the recruiting, but you know who's in charge of recruiting now? You know who's in charge of signing guys? The Garnet Trust, Carolina Rise, J.C. Sherbert. Like, these are the people in charge now of making sure you retain your talent. More importantly than get your talent, you retain your talent. So, I mean, listen, it's. Do I think? Look, and I'll say this: do I think South Carolina can replace Mario Anderson? Yes. Mario Anderson, for the offensive line he had and what the offense was, did Mario Anderson do a good job? I mean, he ran for 700 yards. I'd say he did a good job. Do I think Mario Anderson's an all-SEC back? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think South Carolina, I think there are other guys out there they can go get. But, I mean, guys, it's just another example of, I mean, dude, you just never know. I mean, you just never know when it comes to the portal. You never know. Guys can just up and leave and, so, I don't know, man. I see a lot of reactions taking place right now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. So, in case you missed it, Mario Anderson is out, reportedly hitting the transfer portal, and South Carolina will now look for a replacement or a couple of replacements at the running back position. It feels like time is a flat circle. It feels like deja vu. Gamecocks lose their top rusher. We'll go into the portal to find help. Where have we heard that before? Oh, yeah, this time last year. Crazy, man. The portal giveth, the portal taketh. And that's just the state of college football.